Good afternoon. It is Thursday, July 7th. Thank you for joining me. I am Bruce Leonard, and this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. Still legal today, I believe. But you never know these days. I'm so pissed because they took Comedy Central off of the cable a while back. And I don't have Paramount Plus, and I'm not paying them fucks. So I haven't seen South Park. Everybody said, oh, it's so great, so hilarious, and I believe that to be the case, but I haven't fucking seen it because Comedy Central and then Alta Fiber or whoever are in some kind of financial fucking argument. Like I said, I'm not giving those fucks nut lickers at Paramount a goddamn thing. Sorry. So if anyone has bootleg, they could please email me the link so I can watch. I want to see it so bad. But principles. It's like, standing on principles. So what crazy shit happened today? RFK took away $500 million for vaccines. Remember when in his confirmation hearing when he said, I won't take away the vaccines. You know. And what's he doing? Take away the vaccines. Of course, with the statement that's right with bullshit and misinformation from the internet and just watch some YouTube video and we're letting a man who's not a doctor, a heroin addict with a brain worm, tell doctors what to do. This is the country we're in now. What's up, Julia? Like I said, a heroin addict with a brain worm with no medical degree is telling doctors and scientists what they should be doing. It's like, it's unbelievable. Not to mention, I said, not to beat a dead horse, but the president's still in the Epstein file, and we're going to have a meeting about it at J.D. Vance's house so they can figure out what to do. Now, let me ask you a question. If you really, what's up, Costello, had nothing to do with anything, why you'd have a meeting to figure out how to tell people that you're totally innocent? This shit is... There's not one person, not one single person on the Trump nut-licking team who has stood up and said, oh, wait a minute, there's something weird about all this. No. They've all huddled up. How do we protect them from it? And his followers the same thing. The guy today was still saying Pedo Joe. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? Is Joe in the Epstein file? He didn't answer the question, of course. It was like, is Joe Biden in the Epstein file? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. And again, if Trump's name is in the Epstein file, totally innocent. And just because he was his friend and said, well, Trump was there and Trump was there. What's up, Cam? Why wouldn't you put that out? Oh, he was at a party and he was there. Now, there's videos of it. And they're leering at girls. And Trump says he never did drugs, but he looks pretty coked out in some of those videos, man, when he was younger. He's all sweating and shit. It's like, dude, if he's not on drugs, it's insane. It's like, have you seen those videos? I said, if you're totally straight and you look like that, you're sweating and looking like, it's like there's something wrong with you, bro. I'd rather him have been on drugs than not. Right? He's in a special cocktail like Hitler used to have. It's unbelievable. What the hell happened? I don't know what happened. There's something wrong with this shit. And it's weird because all this time I've been doing the shows works perfectly fine. And then all of a sudden lately it's just start whacking out. If like I said, I would rather a guy be on drugs than look like that regular. He's wandering around the roof. What the fuck is he doing? It is now, I guess. I don't know what happened. It said reconnecting. Yeah, Hitler had a special cocktail. He liked to get a shot in the morning. It was like meth and Benadryl and formaldehyde. Who knows what the fuck he was doing? Barbiturates. It's like by the end of it. Yeah, I don't know. There's something wrong with this shit, like I said. I started wagging out lately. I don't know why. I said, because the whole time I've been doing the shows, we work fine. And now all of a sudden it's crazy. It's whacking out on me. I don't know. And I said, I think I'm going to hardwire the computer. But anyway, so your vaccines are gone. Tariffs kicked in today. You know that? They finally kicked in. Some of these countries, Brazil, 50%. You're not going to get no coffee anymore. It ain't going to be cheap. Like I said, price is about to go up. They keep saying, oh, you don't pay the tariffs. I say, who pays the tariff? Today was on, Scott Bassett was on the news, and this guy cornered him in the corner. He kept saying, oh, well, the other countries pay it. He said, who pays the tariff? And he goes, well, the other countries, he goes, who writes the check for the tariff? And he goes, well, the guy at the dock, right? So the importer, right? Right. So us. Well, yeah. It's like, well, yeah. There is no well, yeah. It's yeah. It's just like, is your boss in the FC file? Yeah. It's like, there is no no. That's what's fucked up. That's why they only go on Fox News where they get softball interviews. Because when they go on real shows, well, except Meet the Press, that chick is so fucking soft. I prefer Face the Nation. Margaret Brennan, she's a fucking bulldog. Julia, hold on, I'm missing these comments. Julia says, seeing as how Dum Dum doesn't follow any laws or rules, if he wasn't in the files and a bunch of Democrats were, he'd release that shit at lightning speed. Well, of course. Of course he would. Yes. Hey, Cam, did you hear about this? Here's another thing. Today they said all the trans people that they're kicking out of the military, they're not going to get in their retirement. You got 15 to 20 years, you know, or 18 years or whatever, you're supposed to get retirement, a pension for the military. He said no. That's blatantly unconstitutional. Don't you think it's blatantly discriminatory? I mean, those people earn that. You're going to take it away from them. Why? Because they're trans? You don't like trans. Give them this money. They might try to play sports. Can't let them have all that money for equipment. There's something wrong with these people. Psychologically. And there's, like I said, if you look around, like the internet is the worst thing that ever happened to humanity. You know why? Because it opened the closed door that you didn't really know how many psychotic motherfuckers you were surrounded by, did you? Till they turned on the internet. Like, holy shit, my neighbor's insane. You see his Facebook page. Like, this guy's fucking crazy. I was better off not knowing and just saying hi to him when I cut the grass. And then to know he wanted to, tie Barack Obama up, put him in the back of a pickup truck. I could have done without that information about the guy who lives next door. It's fucking crazy. And the internet has created all these people. That's RFK himself is a creation of the internet. All these people, they're all more worried about having a podcast. Today, Stephen Miller's wife, she left Elon Musk, is like, I'm starting my own podcast because there's not enough conservative women. Right? There's not enough conservative women. Right? There's not Laura Ingraham and Candace Owens and fucking Laura Loomer and fucking Ann Coulter and all the bitches on Fox. There's not enough conservative women. There's Judy Pirro. They're all over the fucking place. But they all want to be famous on the internet. They're all internet trolls. That's what this whole administration is. That's why Trump is frantically tweeting every fucking 10 minutes. They're internet trolls. That's all they are. Did you hear about this? J.D. Vance? It was his birthday. He wanted to go kayaking. So they had the Army Corps of Engineers move water from some lake to the river so it would raise the water level so that J.D. could kayak. We are at, like, let them eat cake France levels of these fucking people are out of control. A guy would do that. Now, here's how you know you're in the fastest country. Right? With the nutlickers all the way down the line. Because he didn't call the Army Corps of Engineers and say, yes, this is Vice President J.D. Vance. I want to go kayaking. How about you move the water from the lake and raise the river level for me? And he goes, the guy goes, well, I don't have the authority to do that. I'll get back to you. And he hangs up the phone. And he calls back about 5 minutes later. And he goes, yes, Mr. Vance? Yeah, yes. My commanding officer, General Johnson, he told me to tell you to go fuck yourself. Because that's what should happen in a democracy. Somebody should be like, no. It's like, but instead, all the nutlickers are like, oh, J.D. Vance wants that. And he's Trump's number one nutlicker. We better fucking. Just like California. And he said, what they need to fight these fires is more water. So he calls out some lake in Northern California, tells the Army Corps of Engineers, open up the water. The water goes out and don't even go to Los Angeles. And again, they just did it. They didn't say no. They were like, yes, sir. Mr. Trump wants the water out. It's like, everybody's standing around like, that's fucking stupid. Don't even go to L.A. Oh, well, yeah, that's what Mr. Trump wants. This is where we are. It's a complete shit show of rank incompetence and stupidity and massive amounts of bullshitting liars who live in a fantasy world that's not even real. Did you hear about this? Trump wants to destroy 2 satellites because they study the climate. I swear to God. They're woke satellites. They're telling us what the temperature is down here. We destroy them. I'm not even kidding. This is true. You would think I'm making this up for comedic purposes, but no, you don't have to. They're gonna blow them up with Jewish space lasers. Where's the Jewish space lasers when you actually have a purpose for them? This is the world we live in. These are our leaders. Julia says, I really hope that there are people actively forming the shadow government that post from earlier was talking about, don't you? I don't know. I don't think it can be that organized. To tell you the truth. What'll happen is if that really happens, I would think, if there really was like a civil war revolution, one of the big states like California, like Newsom, would take charge of and that would be the government. I don't think you can build a government from scratch. That's like some libertarian, like, fairy tale shit that, that's why I always laugh at libertarians. Like, their philosophy's quaint. Like, libertarianism is cool when there's, 100,000 people. When there's fucking, 300 million people, you need a real government. And you want it works. Like, you're going to find out. Like, we've only been in this shit for, what is this, August? So 8 months. It's already falling apart rapidly. ICE, did you hear about this? ICE ran out of people, I guess, they recruited all the assholes, and it wasn't enough. And they were having a hard time getting people to sign up, so they eliminated all the age limits. Young and old. Dad and it was like father and son can both join ICE. Yes, Julia says it might be right. They still have too many milquetoast Democrats trying to play nice with the fascists. Yes, but they're waking up now. This redistricting thing has really woken them up. Because it's true. What they're trying to do is rig power forever. By drawing these bullshit maps and adding seats to the House in their favor. So either they have to do it too, or they're fucked. And the milquetoast, there are some milquetoast Democrats who are going, well, if we get into this, it's fire with fire. It's already on fire. I mean, fight fire with fire. The house is burning right now. It's already on fire. So there ain't no choice but to fight fire with the fire. You got to do it. Well, that gerrymandering, no, for years and years I've been saying that it should never have been, those maps should be drawn by politicians. We've let politics infect every part of this country. That's the problem. Like, even the movies and shit. You can't even fucking... and people go, Superman's woke! I saw Superman, like, what was woke about it? I didn't see one thing there. I was like, oh my god. It's like Superman, like, saved a trans person, for... or something like, it's blatantly obviously like, it's like, it's just a movie. They're all like, it's woke. He's talking about it being an alien. He's from outer space. He's always been an alien. These people who get mad at these movies, you know that they never read comic books. As I said, comic books were fucking woke. Comic books were so woke that they made an authority that, and a lot of people don't know this, the comics in the old days, they started writing about all kinds of, like, social issues and things, and the government didn't like it, so they fucking made a commission, and then you'll see, if you buy comic books from, I don't remember the dates, it was from the 60s to the early 70s, there's a thing on the top that says this is approved by the Comics Commission or some shit, and like they dictated to them what they could and couldn't put in the comic books. In America, where you're supposed to be free, the whole time they were doing that, they're telling you you're free. That's the thing that's about America is like it's always been kind of fascist under the surface, you know, and that's why wokeism and liberalism really, really scare them because they want to be able to be fascist whenever they want, really. People who are all about real freedom and democracy. And that's what's funny is that's always been their thing is we're all on the Constitution and freedom and the rights and this and that and the other. And then when it comes down to it, like they're really not, are they? They're more about the cultural things, you know, and being in charge. There's an ICE recruitment ad, I swear to God, it said, protect your heritage. Yeah. On the White House. That's fucking Klan talk. I can get that Klan book out that I had. It's that I'm sure that phrase is in there. So again, to the people who told me I was crazy and overblowing things 10 years ago, go fuck yourself. Because that's what you're dealing with right now. Your denial has put us in this situation. And I don't. If you want to come back, I guess we'll take. I guess we'll take you back if you want to come back. But at this point, really, these people they're not even people to me. If I start talking to somebody and they start talking about, you know, how much they love Trump shit, I just walk away now. I don't give a fuck what you think about anything. People go, that's wrong. It's like, hey man, I've been giving these guys chances for a decade now. And they've done nothing but get worse. The more that Trump has more power, the more and more they're just dicks. And they revel in it. They love it. They're alpha males, you know, they're dicks, but at the same time they can't get laid, and they wonder why that. They hate women. It's like, it's very complicated. Julia says, Mad Magazine is my go-to publication for satire. Yes. Alfred E. Newman. They also had like Spy versus Spy. Like, that shit was funny. They don't have stuff like that anymore. I guess The Onion. The Onion still comes up with good shit. I still follow The Onion. It's just still funny. Pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to do now. That's why I said is like they think that they're winning, but they're not really winning. What they're really doing is taking people like me who were kind of liberal, but not like full on, you know, leftists. But now I'm like a card carrying, fucking guillotine sharpening, that fucking leftist that wants to destroy these people because if I don't do that, they're going to destroy me. They're the ones that turn the oven up to high, you know. That's what I said before. It's backfire because what they're doing is creating the very thing that they said they were afraid of, and which didn't even exist. They made it up in their mind. Like there's not a bunch of real communists running around and shit. Like that's all fucking bullshit. I've never met one. And I've hung out with the most liberally fucking kinds of people you could ever meet. I never met one time in my life a card-carrying communist who was like, we need to take over the means of production. And, you know, it's like, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've never met a person like that. Because they don't really exist. I mean, I'm sure they did at one time. I mean, maybe even back in the 50s and shit when they were, you know, the Pinko scare was like at its height. Even then it was probably just a myth. There wasn't that many people, probably. That's what they call anything they don't like anti-war movements and shit like that. It's an easy way to brand them, to make them like an enemy. It's well known that the FBI and Nixon and them like were tried to infiltrate the anti-war movement and like turn it, figure out a way to turn the public against it. That's true. I watched this movie yesterday about Charles Manson. That's what this guy was saying. That he thought that Charles Manson was a MK Ultra person and had worked with the CIA, and then what they did was use the Manson murders to turn the public against the hippies, and it worked. But like, it's like I don't know if I put in mind all that. But there was a lot of weird shit. Like, he'd get arrested, and then somehow nothing happened. His parole officer would write a glowing letter, and then they'd let him out of jail again. And he was going to where they were running MK Ultra. He went there once a month. There's all kinds of weird coincidences in the conspiracy. But even the guy was like, "Do I think that they made him do it?" I was like, "No." He's like, "But when it happened, what happened? They used it in the public domain to turn the tide." I said, to turn the general public against the hippie movement. And they said, "Look, these hippies who talk about peace, they're dangerous, Julia says, "It'll remain bloodless as long as the left allows it." Yes, the Heritage Foundation. Yes. I think that's true, Julia, that there are some people that want to draw blood, like they're pushing, they would like that to happen, but they have a way overblown sense of themselves. I mean, like I said, they don't have a very good record. They've been beaten every time. Every time. Because in the reality of the situation, there's way more of us than there are of them. And you push all of us against the wall, and we all get up. But that's just what hasn't happened. People are starting to get. I said, that guy Flood went home to Nebraska, and they were all over him. They were all over him. It's like that was some contentious shit. And again, you're looking at him and you're like, how do these people even get elected? The guy's an asshole. Like Ted Cruz is an asshole. Why do we keep electing these people? That's why I said it's like they have to make the Democrats like the enemy. Like, well, yeah, our guy's a jerk off, but they're worse. That's like, they're an existential threat to your very, Yes, John. It's more of us. There'll always be more of us. Like I said, I'm not even talking about like them. Like, yeah, they've got their ass kicked already here. Every time the fascists tried to take, America. It's like, but in other countries too. And even if they get power like they have it now, it never lasts long. Crash and burn. Because it's not a sustainable way to govern. You can't have a society. That's the problem. Is Trump has turned the heat up in this society so high. It's going to take a long time, decades, to come back from this. No matter what happens. Because let's go into hypothetical scenarios, right? Let's say that in 2028, well, let's say 2026 midterms, Democrats take back control of Congress, right? And they start stopping, some of Trump's agenda. And the MAGA people are going to start tripping. They might get violent. You don't know. And then fast forward to get through that part, get to 2028, and a Democrat gets elected president. What happens then? Let's say the Republicans, they're already talking about they might not even try to certify the election. And then you got a situation where you're in a limbo, and there's no one, they won't legally certify the Democrat who won the election. So there's no, and then they'll say we got to appoint a president. I was reading some shit about it. It's like that's a theoretical possibility, and some Republicans have already floated the idea that they wouldn't. And they're already trying to, like I said, gerrymander the Congress by redrawing these maps. Today, J.D. Vance went to Indiana trying to talk them into doing the same thing they're doing in Texas. So like I said, the Democrats got to do it in their states. Period. You can't just sit back and let them do that. Do I like the idea of it? No. But they're going to do it, you got to do it. Yeah. Well, I said, the fact that this is happening, that Trump is actually going to red states and telling them to redraw their maps, illegally, really, before the election, so he can steal keeping control of the Congress by creating more seats for himself. It's blatant, like it's corruption at its highest level. But the fact that we're here now, and then you have to say, okay, the Democrats got to do that too, and that's the other thing that it could backfire on them, because Democrats have many more, like the population of Democrat states is way higher. So they could create more seats than the Republicans, I believe. John says they're going to have a bullshit war with Russia, and Trump will use that to run for another term. Wartime president like Roosevelt's third term. Maybe. My theory is, like I said, he's about to meet with Putin. My theory is that he's going to give Putin Ukraine so that it'll save him from the Epstein files, or so he thinks it will. And he can go, look, I stopped the Ukraine war. Sure, I gave half of Ukraine to Putin, but the war's over. And then forget about the Epstein file. Because I'm so great, I should get a Nobel Peace Prize. He didn't say that. He really wants that Nobel Peace Prize. I hope to God the people on the Nobel Committee have already said to themselves, we're never giving that motherfucker a goddamn thing. Because, did you see yesterday? Tim Cook from Apple goes to the Oval Office and gives him like some kind of gold thing. He's like, it's personally engraved, it's one of a kind. It's like, dude, this is the most pathetic, nut-licking shit I've ever seen. Yes, Juliet. Juliet says California, Illinois, and New York alone could out-gerrymander the red states. Yes. GOP is biting off more than they can chew. Yes. Yes. But what will happen is they'll try to get everybody, like you said, Ohio's next. You're going to try to get Ohio to do it. And Ohio will do it because there's nothing but nutlickers over there. No, Jim Jordan's over there. And Bernie Marino. Who the fuck is Bernie Marino? He's the new nutlicker. He took J.D. Vance's place. When J.D. Vance came, like, who the fuck's J.D. Vance? I don't know. He disappeared out of nowhere. Now, I don't know if you saw yesterday, Trump. There are thousands. There's over 1,000. There's thousands. There's over 1,000 actual victims of Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein's sexual abuse. Right now, walking around. And Trump says in the Oval Office yesterday, this is a Democrat hoax, and it's all bullshit. This is the President of the United States. The very fact that anybody can even stomach listening to this guy talk anymore, I don't understand. I don't get it. He's shown himself to be the biggest soulless meat bag of walking shit that you've ever seen in your life. Yes, Cuck Jordan. John's like Pedo Jordan, and he's like, oh, sorry, just watch. Yeah. Or either way, he covered up for the guy. That's what's funny. These Republicans, they always seem to be around pedophiles. There's always pedophiles around. The Republican Party. I see it all the time. Now, I haven't yet to see, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it hasn't happened. But, like, I see all the time that Christians, Republicans, they're always getting busted for, sexual assault or kiddie porn or something. I don't see a lot of Democrats. Like, when Democrats get busted, it's like Anthony Weiner. It's like he sent a girl a bunch of dick pics. It's like some dumb shit. John Edwards, was bagging that chick when his wife had cancer or whatever. Like, that's the other thing. Why are they always... This goes both ways, because Newt Gingrich did it too. How come whenever some politician's wife gets cancer or something, they just immediately start bagging some other chick? So I mean, it's like, all these guys are sex fiends, man. It's like, some of them more twisted than others, but they all have a perverted sex problem. Clinton's in there getting the intern to blow him, like banging her with a cigar. I mean, I don't know if that happened, but that supposedly was part of the rumor. The fuck? Who does that? You ever go out and drink with your friend? He goes, What did you do yesterday? Like, no, man, I went out with this chick and, yeah, man, I banged her with the Swisher Sweet. It's like, what? What the fuck is wrong with you? Something wrong with you, brother. Why you just fuck her? Like, it's like, well, that's boring. You fucked as many women as I have. Gotta get creative. It's like, Jesus Christ. Julia Creed, more and more GOP and evangelical people are getting arrested on nearly a daily basis for child porn, assault, etc. Yes. Well, that's what I mean. It's always in my feed or whatever. I never see, like, oh, there's some Democrat guy got busted for... Democrat gets busted for corruption or, like I said, or sending dick pics to some chick or... That's it. Just banging chicks in the Oval Office with a cigar, whatever the fuck that... I said, what was that about? There's something wrong with... No wonder after a while Hillary was like, just leave me alone. It's like, you're fucking... You were too twisted. It's unbelievable. Julia said the story she heard was that Monica tickled Bill's prostate with the cigar. Well, either way, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Start looking around, what's around here? This is cool and all, but we need something else. There's a cigar. You can't make this shit up. Perhaps I mean, like I said, we've always been fucked up, I guess, so it's really no surprise that this is where we're at. I just never thought it would get this stupid. John says, yes, and this is generally true, I believe. John says, Democrats are oversexed or gay or trans. Republicans are nasty fetish fucking pedophile freak and monsters, yes. For the most part. Remember Dennis Hastert? He was Speaker of the House. For a long time. He was a creepy looking motherfucker too. He like fit the... Julia says, that was explaining semen on the dress. Yes! He said, she hit the cigar. He's like, ah! Spewed all over. Oh, it's all your dress. Think about that. She didn't go home and wash her dress. She was hung it up like, oh, that's the president's car. I'm gonna keep that. It's like, why wouldn't you throw it in the washing machine? You might want that later. It's like, for what? But I mean, she could use the cigars and shit, but I mean, obviously, she's fucking twisted too. Or I said, that's the thing, is she wasn't like 17, but I mean, for an older guy, a girl who's, you know, early 20s like that, it's kind of questionable, you know. It's not be creepy. And even though I think she wasn't like late 20s, I mean, I don't remember how old she was. I think she was young, like 21, you know, 20. I guess we could look it up. Look it up for me, Julia. How old was Monica when she's a motivational speaker now? Questel. Is she? Is that, ladies? I can tell you how to get to the top. All you need is a sexy dress and a cigar. Yeah, I think she, like I said, I think she was like 20, 24. How old was he? Like 60? She was born in 1970. If she was born in 1973, then she ain't. I know. I guess that's true. She's only a couple years younger than me. So she's like 50 now, then, right? 51. Yeah. 22. Julia says 24. Questel says 22. Either way, you got a 65-year-old man coming on to a 24, 22, 24-year-old intern, you know. Yeah, she is old enough to know better, that's for sure. That's what I mean. It's like, it's not like, what do you call it, Epstein shit, you know, where the girls are like 14, 15, you know, 16 years old. That's the thing that I always wondered, is like, why in the fuck would, is a 15-year-old girl working at Mar-a-Lago? You know, that seems weird to me. She's in a spa. She wanted to be a masseuse, they said. That's how Ghislaine Maxwell got her out. It's like, we can teach you how to be a masseuse. You can start on Jeffrey. Sex. And Trump was like, why are you stealing my 15-year-old girl? The whole thing is weird as fuck. It just shows you, man, if you got money, you got a lot of money in this country, you can do anything you want. They won't do shit to you. These corporations kill people all the time. John says, I'm pretty sure the ICE czar dude Holman has touched a kid. Not a white kid, so it doesn't count to most of these souls assholes. I don't know, but he's definitely in the Klan. I call him the Grand Wizard, because that's really what he is. He's like, yeah, culture and heritage. He's the one probably that wrote that thing on the ICE website. Defend your heritage. It's like, look at him. It's like, if that was your heritage, that guy. It's like, look at my grandpappy. Look at him. It's like, yeah, look at him. He looks like a thumb. It's like, he looks like he's a product of cousin fucking. It's like, all these people are bitter and angry. Costello says, apparently she also admitted to this revealed she started an affair with the 40-year-old married man in Los Angeles when she was 18. Yeah, right. And that guy, see now that guy to me is worse. She's 18. No, he's 40 and married. Julia says Homan would lick the boots of Hitler. Yes, he would, for sure. Or anyone who would give him the power to do the things he wants to do, which is lock people up and torture them. History's not going to look kindly on us. This generation. Just like I said, we're weak. So you let these people do this to you. You're weak. I ain't got nothing else to say about it. It's true. And it ain't, I mean, it's not completely over. You can still get up, but a lot of people just sitting back and taking this, which, after all that talk about, well, we need guns to protect ourselves from tyrannical government. And like, here's the tyrannical government. Yeah, but I agree with them. Costello is going through Monica Lewinsky's biography. So apparently she also had an affair with a teacher in her high school. Yeah, I mean, obviously she liked fucking. Bill was like, hey, I like fucking. You like it? There's a thunder, it's going to be a storm. A lot of stores around here, and Athena don't like it. She hides. Yes, John, it's shameful. That, to me, that's the most shameful part, that there's so many people just laying down taking this. I've been blowing the whistle for 10 years. Like, and I'm ready when they blow the real whistle. Ready. What, so much wild, Costello says so much wild, what, in Monica's biography? It's such young, Diary of a Young Sex Addict. It's like, who likes older dudes? I've never run into these chicks. Where are they? That's what they don't tell you, is you start aging out of the market. It's like, fuck, I need to play in a band again or something, or I ain't never gonna get laid. I ain't good at like bullshit lines and picking up chicks. They gotta want to fuck me already for something I was doing. It's like, I ain't been doing nothing for a while. It's been dry like the Nevada desert. Hear that? Storm. My dog is hiding right now. She's terrified. She hates it. Costello says it doesn't say much about when she was young, but I bet it was all bad. Yeah, I bet she was bagging the football team, or I mean, obviously, I said she liked fucking. We've been through this. She met Bill, and Bill liked fucking. They had it in common, and she liked older dudes. And I think Bill, he wanted to be cooler than Kennedy, It's like, I guarantee you, Kennedy fuck someone in here. I gotta fuck somebody. Let's do it. Yeah, Costello, that's true. That creepy uncle or some shit. I don't like to think about that kind of stuff. The numbers are hideous. Hey, did you hear about this? This is true. I saw it today. They had declared a state of emergency in Mississippi because venereal disease is so rampant. They said if you get 100 people in a room from Mississippi, there's guaranteed that at least one of them will have VD of some sort. So don't go fucking wrap it up in Mississippi. You meet some girl at the bar, like, hey, she's got a little southern accent. You're like, that's cute, and She's like, hey, you want to go home with me? Yeah. Like, hey, by the way, where are you from? Mississippi. Oh, no. I gotta work in the morning. Shocker, it would be one of them shithole southern states. Just swimming in chlamydia, you know, the clap. RFK is like, we gotta get rid of all and bring it all back. Polio, measles, the clap. It's like, here it comes. They cut the funding for VD in Mississippi. It's like, they got doged. Now they all got VD. John says, remember those idiots back in his first term that said we should have a dictator? Yeah. There are people that believe that. That's what I'm saying. About 30% of this country wants a dictator. They're fascists. We've had them, you know, tamped down and tied down and in a corner a little bit for most of my life. They've always been under the surface, you know. Julia says, gives a whole new meaning to a crab boil on the Gulf of Mexico. Yes. That's funny. Yes. That's true. I saw it. Why? Why do they want a dictator? Because they're bootlickers, man. And racism has a lot to do with it, I think. The racists, like I said, that's why they've abandoned the Constitution. Because the racists, when Barack Obama got elected, I've said this before, is they were like, oh no, if this is where the Constitution has gotten us, and they tore it up. The only thing going to save us from this is a pearly white dictator. And then they picked the orange guy for some reason. It's like, he's not really white. Well, have you seen him? That's why he wears that orange makeup. Have you ever seen pictures of him? He's ghost white, bro. Trump. Ghostly white. Julia says because they can't think for themselves. Yeah, exactly. They're brainwashed drones. The internet and the Fox News and shit has just made it worse. These people don't think at all. They're programmed and told what to think. It starts in church, I believe. They take you to church and your head's still soft, and they start trying to fucking stick that shit in your brain. Yeah, you're like. At first, your head's soft and you don't know nothing, so you're going along with it. You're like, oh yeah, and the flood and all the animals in the boat, and yeah, and. And they give you little toys, you know. They look, it's the ark and the animals. You go, yeah. Then if you have a brain at all, you know, that's thinking, you get to be, you know. When I was young, I started, you know, there ain't no fucking Santa Claus. There's the Easter Bunny shit. Like, come on, man, this is some bullshit. I appreciate the sentiment. I'll go along with it because I'm getting presents and shit. But it's like, there ain't no fucking fat guy who can cover the whole fucking world in one night and deliver presents down your chimney personally to you and every other fucking billion people on the fucking planet. It's like, there's no fucking way. Unless he has like a machine that freezes time, you know, and you're really asleep. Because that's how long it would take for him to fly, even with magic. And you start going, you know, hey man, these stories don't make no sense. And once you crack a veil on anything, you start going, well, that don't make sense. You go, well, that don't make sense. John says, I still believe in Santa Claus. Easter Bunny. What the fuck is that? Like, Jesus was beaten savagely, drugged to a cross, nailed up on it, died, put in a thing, uh, crypt for 3 days, then came back to life and floated up to heaven for you, for your sins. And then a magic rabbit come and give you some chocolate egg. It's like, what the fuck? When these things don't go find the hidden hard-boiled egg. It's Jesus. It's like, what does this have to do with Jesus? We're gonna eat ham. It's like, it's like, what the fuck is it? And why do they call it Good Friday? Like, it wasn't good for him. It's like, that's the day he was savagely beaten and fucking nailed to a cross. Like, it's good that this happened. It's like, this is some sick shit. This is not. This is not cool at all. It's like. See, John saying the whole Jesus thing is bad shit, but don't fuck with the bunny rabbit. I'm not. And again, it's fun. You get to eat candy and shit. I get it for kids and all that, but it just was weird how did this thing turn into this? They don't really go together. It's not a happy story. It should be more solemn. I always thought, it should be. At least the Jews, like, their shit is like solemn, like they light a candle and they're reverent, or whatever. Like, we're like fucking chocolate eggs, and pecan pie. It's like, thank you, Jesus. And hiding the eggs in the yard. What the fuck is that's like? Go out there, dig, root through the grass. There's a prize out there. Yes, Julia. Julia says her Jewish grandpa used to bring me Easter baskets. Yes, because what else are you gonna get? Like I said, a jar of that nasty fish. It's like, what the fuck is that anyway, Julia? Why you people be putting fish in a jar? I've never had it. It looks disgusting. You sell it in every store I ever worked. I always look at it like it's all cloudy and shit. It's just fish with some kind of breading. It's some kind. I don't even know what the fluid is. Some kind of fish juice. It's like, what is that? It's Jewish food. But I mean, I laugh, but like, fuck, rednecks pickle pig's feet and shit. John says pickled and preserved. Right, like pickled pig's feet, like I said, that they eat like down south Kentucky. Like, I'm not kidding you. Pig's feet in a jar with like vinegar or something. It's pickled. They love it. You're like, what the fuck? Oh, look, it reconnected me finally. I just want to say, if you're still here, I really had a good time tonight. I appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. I said that my mom's still in the hospital. It's kind of, you know how that is. So it's hard to not think about that. And I've had a good time. And I said, I hope you did too. Yes, I was just saying this, but I didn't think it was on. Well, Costello says it's on. Julia says it's frozen. I don't know. It's a storm. Kicked me off. I don't know what happened. Anyway, you heard the thunder. I love you guys. I said, and I appreciate you fucking hanging out with me, and we're gonna get through this together. I'll be back Saturday at 6 o'clock. I'm going to check in Daniele. I think he's back from Italy, and maybe I can talk him into coming on. But I'm not going to guarantee it because I haven't spoken to him. But he's been in Italy for a month. You too, John. It is good to see you. I'm going to. I swear to God, we're going to arrange. I'm going to come out and visit. It's been way too long. I love you. I do. I said I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back on Saturday. So, I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left. If you watch on YouTube or whatever, hit that like button. I hate to fucking sound like a shill, but it helps the algorithm. Tell your friends about the show. Bring somebody with you next time. I love you guys. I'll be back on Saturday. Thanks for hanging out.